Hi everybody, this is Stuart Mcdonald, the magician that you know, and I'm really glad that all of you are friends of mine here on my YouTube channel. And please tell all of your friends to watch the channel, subscribe to the channel. We're building a great base, and the more people that we get, the more videos I can produce for you. And right now I'm going to take us all on a journey back about 10 years to a video. Actually, it's not a video, it's a documentary. It's a full-length documentary over almost an hour and a half long. It's not magic related, but since we're coming up on the new year here in 2022, some of us probably want to lose weight. They want to get into shape. And I made this documentary called I Want to Look Like That Guy. And in 2009, it blew up everywhere. I was on I was in men's magazines, fitness magazines. It was a great selling DVD, and then YouTube came out, and some people posted it online. It went into Pirate Bay, and sales sunk, and yeah. So anyway, it was pirated away. So I'm going to give it to you as a free gift. It's not magic related, but boy, oh boy, is it a page turner if it was a book. It's riveting and inspiring in so many ways, and it's my journey of what it takes to look like those guys in fitness ads. And I go all the way. And I won't tell you what the ending is, but the ending is spectacular. And you'll be surprised what it takes to look like the guys in those fitness ads. And maybe you might want to challenge yourself at least a little bit, use some of the techniques in this documentary, but I partnered up with the world's greatest natural bodybuilder, steroid-free Jeff Willett. And anyway, long story short, enjoy the film. It's right here, and share it, and please subscribe, and we'll see you in 2022.
I rather doubt that tonight's report has really gotten to you yet. Oh, you're against quacks, all right, I imagine, but you may be slightly amused, too, to think that anyone could be taken in by such fantastic pitches. What you're about to see is not fantasy, it's reality.
Have you ever seen a guy in a fitness ad and said, I want to look like that guy? For years, I bought into the idea that if I take this pill, buy this machine, or drink this stuff, I'm going to look like that guy in the ad. Well, I'm not the only one who thinks that way. We spend $4.22 billion a year in fitness equipment and $20.3 billion a year on supplements. Now the funny thing is, no matter what I bought, I never even got in the ballpark of looking like that guy. After years of disappointing results, it became clear to me something was missing from the ads. There had to be a secret the fitness industry was keeping from us. After all, if we became lean, they'd be out of a job.
I had no idea we were such suckers about our health.
That's me, Stuart Mcdonald. I'm probably what many would call a Renaissance man. I own a seasonal haunted house, I'm a professional magician, volunteer firefighter, and I own a video production company. I'm also unhappy with my self-image. The last 3 years I've turned into a bloated, unhealthy, middle-aged man. I've tried the diets and special workout plans, but never come close to looking ripped and shredded like the guys in those fitness ads. Well, this is my quest to look like that guy. there he is. His name is Jeff Willett, the 2003 Team Universe overall champion and IFBB Pro bodybuilder. What makes this guy unique is he built his body without the use of drugs or steroids, a seemingly impossible feat by today's standards. In 2004, Jeff retired from bodybuilding and opened a gym in my hometown of Adrian, Michigan. It was my chance to finally meet the guy in those ads and beg the question, how can I look like you? The first thing Jeff told me was to get the idea out of my head I was going to look like those guys in fitness ads simply by taking fat-burning pills or buying into the latest fitness craze. Most people never achieve the look of the guy in fitness ads because the model is usually a bodybuilder and the photos are taken right before or after a bodybuilding contest. Jeff said in order to look like that guy, I'll have to become a bodybuilder myself. And with that said, Jeff divided the project into 2 phases. Phase 1 was to build muscle through weight training and not to worry that much about dieting. Just keep a mindful eye on the foods I'm eating for 18 weeks. Jeff said I wouldn't look like a fitness model, but I'd have a firm base to build on for Phase 2. In Phase 2, I'll do the same weight training for 24 weeks, eat strictly like a bodybuilder, and set an end goal of entering a bodybuilding contest just to see how I measure up. Now, if I follow the diet to the letter, Jeff assured me I would look like the guy in the ad, but he warned me, looking bodybuilding lean comes with intense personal sacrifice. What an understatement.
I'm ready to try my experiment on a human.
With my head clear about what to expect, I wanted to start monitoring fat loss on a scientific level. So I called Dr. Adam Coughlin of Adrian College. What I wanted to know was how fat I was and how much I could expect to lose at the end of Phase 1 and 2. I had no idea how painful measuring body fat was going to be.
And then from the subcutaneous fat, yeah, it doesn't feel. Do you have older brothers?
No, I couldn't. 2 sisters.
Yeah, they don't usually treat you this badly.
After pinching me more times than I would have liked, we put the figures in the computer and the numbers were actually quite shocking.
So right now, based on the 7-site skin fold, you're 27.4% fat. Put you about the 20th percentile. Somewhere between the 10th and 20th percentile. That's on the bottom. So again, plenty of room to grow.
What's the ideal fat for some guy my size?
And you said you were 42? Mm-hmm. So 50th percentile is right around 21%. So 21% is what we're shooting for.
Now, I don't consider myself to be a fat guy, but I had no idea just how out of whack my body mass index was.
It's horrible, I tell you.
What we're going to do here is we're going to follow the MAX-OT training system, and that stands for Maximum Overload Training. And that's how I've trained for the last probably 9-10 years. I learned it from Paul D'Elia, who's the owner of AST Sports Science, and that's where basically Paul was my mentor. And when I moved to Colorado and worked for AST, I really delved into the MAX-OT principles, and I've used it for myself. I've used it to instruct people all over the world through website and virtual training, if you will, and even had camps on it. So the reason this is relevant for not just a bodybuilder, but anybody looking to get in shape, because we're all, again, it all goes back to building muscle. And if you want to get in better shape, you have to have a muscle building component to your workout. Again, the biggest mistake people make is an overabundance of sets and reps and exercises. We're going to stick with heavier weights. We're going to train in a 4 to 6 repetition range, because overload, or the use of a heavier weight, is going to best stimulate or signal that muscle to grow. So what I want you to do is, you're going to handle a weight you can do at least 4 times on your own, but no more than 6 repetitions. So let's say with the bench press, for example, once you have a weight, once you can get it 6 times on your own, that's your signal to bump up the weight. Okay, and you're always going to increase by the smallest increment possible. So if you're using a barbell, that means you could increase by 2.5 pounds on the side. We're going to edge up very slowly, but the key numbers to remember here is 4 to 6 reps. Once you get 6, you got to increase the weight, because it's through this continual process of adding more weight or overload over a span of months and this whole 18-week period that's always forcing the body. It's a whole cycle of stimulus and response. stimulus through heavy weight or heavier resistance, and then response through rest and nutrition. And that's the muscle building cycle. It's no more complicated than that, stimulus and response, with the stimulus being the heavy weights.
Jeff laid out the whole program for me and even tossed in some diet information just to keep my mind aware of the right foods to eat. My training regimen was actually pretty simple. Monday, back and traps. Tuesday, abs, calves, and shoulders. Wednesday was legs. Thursday was chest. And Friday, triceps, biceps, forearms, and abdominals. Jeff even gave me a journal to keep track of my progress, and I had my workout plan in hand. The first day in the gym was all about learning the various lifting techniques and finding my starting weights.
I got my drink.
Good.
And Jeff was absolutely helpful with this. Once I had all the lifts down, he set me off on my own like a scared pilot going solo for the first time. All I could think about was being a dork in the gym, and having a camera pointed at me didn't help at all. With nearly a third of my body consisting of lard and photos supporting it, I was motivated.
Jeff, you're killing me.
Well, what's a day without a little rough and tumble?
After 2 months, I reported the progress to Jeff and Adam. But would the fat loss continue even though the only rule was just to keep a mindful eye on what I was eating? The progress in the photos was starting to build excitement.
The reason that's important to note is because we are mostly concerned with body composition when you come in here, or anybody. And that's why I'm against that whole biggest loser type of mentality in those type of contests, because to me it encourages the wrong frame of mind. We don't care about absolute weight loss, we care about fat loss. And now you can see firsthand the dramatic difference between sheer weight and body composition. So you touched on that whole point there. You know, and someone like yourself, not that you have necessarily a lot of weight to lose, but we want to trim that body fat and body composition, reproportion your body, change your physique.
I will be a great man.
And you went from a 27.4% body fat to a 25.8% fat. So you've lost almost a 2% fat.
Wow. About 2.5 months into the program, I started to derail when it came to eating. With each poorly chosen meal, I felt the need to confess to Jeff.
I don't know, I just needed a dessert for some reason, so I had sweet potato pie. Now, no, sweet potato is supposed to be good for you, but I want to see what Jeff has to say, so see you in a few minutes.
Turns out Jeff turned into my diet priest, but instead of telling me to do Hail Marys, he'd say,
Here and there, it's not going to make or break anything, as long as that needs to be more the exception to the rule. The majority of your day was good, as you said. Maybe 90% of your day was good. Well, just flip that around. What if 90% of your day was crap food and you only ate 10% good? It's not going to do much for you. Well, conversely, the same is true, I think.
I am a cookie-holic. That's one of my vices. I love cookies. And earlier in the week, I had several cookies, probably more cookies than most people will eat sitting down at one time. But for me, it really wasn't, a record. But I did get tired of eating them. But of course, the last one is the best. But what I want to do is I want to find out. See, right now I'm at 25% body fat. I want to find out that in the next 2 weeks, if really that indulgence is going to affect the outcome of the next 2 weeks. I did a cookie experiment.
So who told you to do this experiment anyway?
I did.
Or is that something you just dreamt up on your own?
I dreamt it up on my own.
Or... Well, nothing I would have advised.
Yeah.
That's something that we just don't want to really have to deal with again. And we can control today and today forward. So beating yourself up over what you did or didn't do yesterday doesn't help us today.
I did a cookie experiment.
Okay.
And I noticed for about a week that I had a real slowdown in just energy.
Yeah, sugar spike, insulin shock, so maybe not to that extreme, but the body still had to process all those cookies, so. In your fat-free mass, you're about almost a pound heavier of fat-free mass. So you're heading in the right direction.
Muscle was building, metabolism was getting faster, and the fat was burning off. You know, I was a machine. I was getting stronger, feeling great, until I broke my toe. That is another setback. It's a setback, but now we're going to show you how to do a workaround with the setback. Even with a broken toe, I was able to work around it. In about a month, it felt better, but I was very careful. It wasn't until I was halfway through recovery that I realized Jeff had brainwashed me with his positive spin motivation techniques. As the weeks went by, Jeff and I were keeping a close eye on the photos. Jeff was more about the look and how I was feeling, while Adam was completely about the data. I truly turned my body's metabolism in a positive direction, and things were going great. I was being productive, and then I got sick.
Day 4. This is getting ridiculous. Just hope tomorrow I can go to the gym. This is what I have to do every day. The only thing I don't like is city water mixed with this. Ugh. Okay, something's weird. To make sure you put an equal amount of weight on both ends of the bar. Did you hear my back crack on that one? See, that's a mental game. If someone's standing there, you can actually lift more weight. That's it. Oy. Now it's time for the longest 16 minutes of every part of my day. Aerobics. So off we go.
But you dropped percent fat. You went from 25 to 24.3, which I think is your lowest so far.
And what did we say we needed to get down to 21 when we started this?
Oh, you know, I think so.
Yeah.
I think that was your goal.
Yeah, we're halfway.
Perfect. Perfect. It's going to work.
Abs, calves, and forearms, one of the most boring days.
Nervous.
I know, I want it to be 20. It's got to be 22.
22%?
20, low 22.
That's what you want it to be?
That's what I want it to be.
And what if it is?
Then
22.3% body fat.
that's a whole percent.
Yeah.
We were 23.3, weren't we before?
Yeah. Yeah, you were up a little bit 2 weeks ago. So you are...
So I'm well within easy range of 21%.
Yeah.
Our final day of our 18-week program was approaching fast, and excitement was building. Could I reach 21% body fat? This time, we traveled to Michigan State University, and we used the Bod Pod. Now, Adam had told me about this thing being the new gold standard in fat measurement. It looks like the spaceship from Mork and Mindy. I mean, literally. We were all nervous the Bod Pod would find more fat on me than the pinch method. Being a bit claustrophobic, I would have given my left arm to not be in this thing.
Well, this is kind of claustrophobic. It's pretty small. Let's see. This is a signal for panic.
Yep. Yep, knocking on the door. Alright, so go ahead and hop in. Probably hands in your lap is the best. You want to minimize as much movement as possible. Whatever position you can sit in for a few minutes without moving. I knew it. Second time would be a charm.
I think this is going to be higher. I think this is probably going to be 24%.
Okay. It says you were 20.8.
20.8?
20.8. Yep.
Whoa!
Well, you can see the difference.
Here's what I found out with phase 1. If you follow the MaxOT training method of weightlifting and doing only 16 minutes of really hard cardio, you'll lose fat and gain lean muscle without dieting. Now granted, you won't look like a fitness model either, but you'll lose fat, change your body composition, and feel better about yourself. But I still don't look like that guy in the ads. I went to the gym and I worked my tail off, and still it wasn't enough. Did I fail because I'm too old? What's missing? Now Jeff says intense dieting is the real key. Could that be all there is to it? No fancy machines or special pills? I'm about to find out the hard way. Well, 5 months has passed since phase 1 ended, and my other job as a haunted house producer consumed the majority of my time, making it harder to eat right and no time for the gym. I became a fast food junkie, gained all my weight back, and more. I was now 204 pounds. I had a 44-inch waist and back to being miserable. I really wanted to know what it takes to look lean and cut like Jeff in all those ads. And phase 2 is how I'm gonna get there.
It will be my supreme accomplishment.
If you want to look like that guy in the ad, then you have to be willing to sacrifice. You have to be able to have some self-sacrifice as far as diet's concerned and exercise. It's a lot of hard work. If you're not willing to do that, that's fine, but then you need to lower your expectations of what you're going to look like, and there's no crime in that. But the thing is, if you want to look like that guy in the ad, be prepared for self-sacrifice. Great things can be achieved naturally if they're done correctly, and my job is to make sure that I lay everything out as ideal as possible for you to do, to maximize everything that we can to get extraordinary results. Your job is to execute.
It was off to the gym and the kitchen. And like Jeff said, all I had to do was execute the plan. And this would be the phrase I'd hear every single day. I mean, literally, every single day. Now, I started out consuming 2,590 calories per day every day for 30 days. Then Jeff took it down to 2,460 calories. You could really start seeing changes, but I was still far away from a washboard tummy. I'm really glad I took photos during this entire process. Without them, I wouldn't have seen the subtle progress that was happening either daily or weekly. Because of them, I knew this was going to work.
Perfect. But we'll have to work fast.
I want you to take these, they're 3 blank cards, and I want you to think of a positive affirmation statement that's going to be a trigger for you. For me, I wrote down in 2003, I am the Team Universe overall champion and I am a top 5 USA finisher. And I placed them on my medicine cabinet, one on my computer, and one on my refrigerator. So I looked at them constantly, all day long. Now, the key is you have to set these yourself because you got to figure out what's going to be the big trigger for you. But they need to be a positive statement, not I want to be Team Universe champion, or not I will be, but I am.
I wish that were all there was to it.
So I'm going to execute the plan. I'm going to put this up somewhere. My goal is to place at least in the top 5. Eat the right stuff. So in other words, I'm telling myself to eat my favorite movie every day. Jeff was pushing me to lift more weight and intensify every workout, building more muscle and turning up the metabolism. Now, just like before, when things started going great, disaster strikes. Well, Jeff, I injured my bicep. It happened a little bit over time. I have okay power here, but then when it gets right up in there, it starts to really hurt. This arm is just totally fine.
The thing is, you know, are you still able to do back movements?
I can still do back movements.
Good.
Pull down is still, weird enough, pull down still works.
Well, here's the good news. if you're still able to do back movements, your biceps are still getting some work. So taking a week off of, or even 2 of direct bicep work, the muscle's not going to go anywhere. Especially with the great nutritional support that you're getting with your protein and everything, it's not going anywhere. So don't. Some people will be scared, like, oh, my bicep's going to shrink. It's not going to happen that fast. So let's take the week off of bicep training. It's going to get some work when you're doing your back, and I think that that's our best bet at this point because we don't want to prolong what's going on here.
And it was hurt by lifting too much too soon.
Now, wait a minute. Only a jerk would act like that. A complete idiot.
Somewhere along the line, I became a competitor. The goal to look like Jeff was still up there, but I had to be competitive lean to look like him in those ads. The instinct to win helped drive me forward. And if I won the contest, I certainly would look like Jeff. And the trophy would be a bonus. Win-win. I won't bore you with months and months of workout footage, so let's skip ahead to April. Look at the progress from January. The diet is working wonders. Now I really think I'm gonna pull this off. By April, we were 3 months into the program. I was down to 1,905 calories per day. No more, no less. The changes in my body and face were becoming very apparent. Calorie adjustments were now coming in every 2 weeks. Remember that bodybuilding contest? It's only a few months away, so the first thing I need to do is take off all my body hair. Easier said than done.
I hate this. I don't believe I'm doing this. Hair and hairless.
Remember Dr. Adam Coughlin from Adrian College? He hasn't seen me in months, and he's been dying to get me back into the Bod Pod. Now this contraption is really cool, and yes, I did get over the feeling of claustrophobia. Now the last time I was in the Bod Pod, it said I was 21% fat. Now I'm obviously lower than that, but how much lower was a big shock for the both of us.
13.5.
13.5% body fat?
So 13.5% fat. Everything else then is non-fat. So water, muscle, bone, what you had for breakfast, everything. Actually, 1,900 calories places you just above your resting metabolic rate. So if you were to wake up in the morning, not get out of bed for anything, not to go to the bathroom, not to get anything, you just lay there and watch TV all day, you're burning about 1,800 calories.
Wow.
Now getting up, just going to the office, sitting behind a desk all day, about 2,300 calories. And the more active you are, the more calories your body's going to burn. So 1,900 calories is in that weight loss zone for you.
Way much, yeah.
Yeah.
My dad wasn't too keen about being on camera. Actually, I was shocked he came to the gym at all. I wanted to share this part of the experience with him, hoping he would give me some pointers. But alas, he stood mute for the camera. Now interestingly, my dad actually had an influence on this documentary more than a decade ago. You see, my dad, now a retired professor, taught physical fitness to both Jeff and Adam at Adrian College. Thanks, Dad. Next time, I promise, no cameras.
All right, I'm done with my workout. Now Jeff is going to tell me how much less I have to eat for the next 8 weeks. So let's go.
Well, we're going to skim away a little bit. We're going to take away 130 calories, and like we talked about before, we do this by not just yanking one nutrients, but by skimming totals. So what we're doing, we're taking the last meal you have nitro, and we're cutting it to a half. So we're taking this, and we're going to make it a half. So we're going to do this, we're going to follow it for 2 weeks, and then we're going to take another look at things at 6 weeks out. And then we'll continue to adjust, because it's got to run and sprint to the finish line.
Look at this. That's a quarter cup. That's all I'm gonna eat. Drinky. And we're off to the gym.
I have no idea how or why it happened, But Jeff got sucked into the vortex of my documentary and decided to make his last appearance as a guest poser in my contest. Now, how cool is that? Seven weeks out now from our competition, and you're going to teach me some posing.
That's right.
And the other thing is the mandatories.
Yep, we're going to look at all those and just basically how to hold them in the most advantageous position for you to display your physique the best, because that's really what it's all about, how to display yourself to all your advantaged strong points.
Why, looky here. Pre-cut. Pre-cut 4 ounces of beef. Broccoli. The breakfast and lunch and dinner of champions. Okay, today we're going to cook dinner. And dinner is going to be very, very simple. It's just going to be 4 ounces of lean beef. And I'm going to have a large bowl of vegetables. It's going to be broccoli. And that's it. So to make your meal go fast, we've got 2 things cooking at the same time. We've got the broccoli in the microwave, and we have the meat getting cooked in the pan. So all this is going to be cooked in about 10 minutes. And there you have it, a bodybuilder's meal.
Chew your food well and swallow it. Doesn't it taste extra good that way?
I can tell you what I've been feeling. Exhausted at the end of the day. I am so tired. And then I'm getting up at, well, yesterday I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning, just craving a meal. And
So some weird stuff is going on. I mean, I'm really cutting some major weight right now, because at the beginning of the week I was at 168, now 165. It's like, wow. But anyway, I'm gonna fix my morning breakfast. It's off to another day at the gym.
Like I said, I went to a restaurant tonight and had what I wanted to eat. I didn't give any care. I just ate what I wanted to eat. Ooh, well there it is, folks. That's a 6-pack right there. It's not enough. I'm having regrets over eating it when, you know, I was eating something that I wanted to eat rather than what I needed to eat, you know. And after one meal, I can feel I can just feel the fluid around my midsection filling up. But it's getting scary how hard it is to get as lean as I need to get for that photograph, to show you how hard it is to look like those people in those photographs. It's a lie. It's a complete lie. Nobody can live like that and eat like this. Nobody can do it and function. These guys are starving themselves to near death. If you are on a diet and if you want to look like that, you have no idea what you're in for. No idea at all. You've got no life. You've got no energy. You may look great, but you're not going to feel great. Off to riding my bike to burn off the burrito.
I can't stand this torture, this torment.
I'm gonna kind of rant to him a little bit about some of the problems I'm having. At the end of the day, I am just drained, and it's like I need food, and you know the salad is great, but
a person's body naturally doesn't want to really go to these levels of these low levels of body fat, so you're kind of fighting and working against every natural instinct that there is right now, and this is where your mind has to take over and take your body to a place where it doesn't necessarily want to go. It's uncomfortable, but that's what's required to get in the type of condition you want to display on a show stage. This would not be necessary for somebody who just simply wants to be healthy and leaner. As you've seen, you saw how you felt coming weeks and looking better and better. Well, now we're taking it those steps further for the next 7 weeks. When you wake up, you know, okay, I need to eat this, I need to do 2 cardio sessions, and I need to do my workout. And if you do all those things, what else is there, right? So don't overcomplicate the day either. My mentor once told me that you have to feel real bad to look real good. And, you know, there's some truth to that.
What a strange sport.
It is, and I don't think a lot of people realize, you know, especially you look at a guy on stage, especially a natural guy who doesn't have any aid of pharmaceuticals to get lean, and they don't realize all the mental games and the fatigue, the weeks and months that that person went through to look like that for that one point in time. And now you're getting a great appreciation for that. And before you go up there and get on that bike, I want you to stop and connect to that vision of what you want to look like that day. Think about yourself hitting all those poses that you're supposed to be practicing, and think about how you're going to look that day, and realize this session on the bike is one step closer to getting that. All right, let's see what you got. We got only 6 weeks to go from tomorrow, so a little disappointed. I mean, I would rather we be a little bit further along right now, because I wanted to be ready a little bit sooner. Right. But now I think we're really going to have to push all the way to that day to be your best. You know, and you trusted me. Right. So now I'm trusting you to do what I'm telling you. You have the option to quit at any time. I mean,
I'm not going to quit.
For you to target the area that we need is going to be a combination of not any more wavering from your nutrition. I've given you a caloric level, and we're going to cut it back a little bit more. You've got to hit that. You know, if you have too many more of these episodes like you had the other night, you know, you might as well just call it good. You know, stick to your nutrition. I don't care if you fall down. I don't care if you faint. Stick to the nutrition.
It's Friday the 13th, June 13th, Friday the 13th. It's going to be our second evaluation. I believe we're 5 weeks out, and we are in the back alley behind Jeff's Powerhouse Gym. I hope he's not going to be as rough on me as he was last week. You know, why would anybody do this? This is stupid. You know, it's like, it's not a contest to see who can, you know, look the best or whatever. It's almost like a contest to see who can eat the least, you know, and without eating your muscle away. And I'm thinking, well, who would want to do that? And then I'm thinking, okay, well, I know what the end result's supposed to look like. So with that in mind, I looked at it and I said, well, this has got to be the equivalent of climbing Mount Everest. Why in the heck would anybody climb Mount Everest? You can only stay there for 3 or 4 minutes. That's it.
This is not functional to be as lean as you are, right? By how you're feeling. So again, you're fighting these physiological instincts to keep pushing to get leaner and leaner, you know, and that's where the challenge comes in, and that's what separates someone from being fantastic on the day of the show to being just okay.
We're back in the kitchen, and we're going to do the pre-workout drink, and I've got my trusty dog, who still isn't feeling well this morning. He's just kind of staring off.
L-glutamine. This time, 2 scoops of whey protein. I really look forward to this, because at this time I'm really anxious to get something in me.
and the creatine.
Well, it's time to go to the gym. Once again, my dog. He's always sad that I leave. See Ed. It's a lovely morning for a workout. Lovely. Lovely.
Okay, so let's do front relaxed. I'm going to stand back a bit so I can see a little bit better. Quarter turn to the right. That's the way to hold that, good. Okay, let's see a front bicep. Best side chest. That's better, good. There you go, that's the way. With these 5 weeks to go, you have the ability in your grasp to be beyond, I think, what you ever thought you'd be at that day. Meaning you have the ability to be bodybuilding lean.
Well, that is news. Simple, ain't it?
Of all the troubles I encountered in this journey, a broken toe, getting sick, and a bicep injury, strep throat was going to be my Waterloo. I got it just 3 weeks before the competition and thought my quest was over. So I called Jeff, and again, he left me with a positive outlook.
No worries. Just keep the calories that were in there and make good choices with that. And then, like I said, in a few days, it'll be behind you and you'll be up and running.
Always has something positive to say. Oh, he's such a machine. He's a positive machine.
Uh-oh. Well, you did it again. Gee, what a mess.
So what I would recommend today is come in, even if it's going through the motions. You know, try to do some cardio, even if it's like, don't worry about numbers today. Even with this weight training, I would do what you're supposed to do with weights, but don't worry so much about numbers. Maybe do something you can do 6 reps pretty easy with. Just get back in the motion of it. Do some cardio, but again, don't worry so much about beating a number. But this is more important for building momentum again, because we're inside of 4 weeks, and we want to get the main thing is damage control. But I am tired of hearing excuses from people in general, meaning that if you really want it, if you really want to get in shape, there's no excuses. You work around things, you're intelligent, but I'm tired of hearing my work schedule's too busy, I got kids, I got this, I got that, the other thing. They're all legitimate things, but there are ways, as you're proving, to work around things if you want to. And yours is even more stringent because we have a deadline. Most people don't have a deadline, they just want to get in shape. So, if anything, you know, and we obviously didn't plan these things to happen, but it illustrates that, you know, no excuses. If you're intelligent and you don't give up, you can work around these minor obstacles.
July 3rd, right? And we have a July 4th weekend coming up. Strep throat, gone. And I've been surviving the last caloric deficit, which was 100 and change.
Right.
So now I've noticed a lot of difference. I've broken the 164 pound range, and now we're below 160. And So now we just need to look at the evaluation one more time just to see what you think, and then what do you
Go
think?
forward from there. Well, we got 2 weeks from Saturday, so just a couple days over 2 weeks. Definitely the finish line is in sight, but the reports so far are great. Now we need to see physically where you're at to help me decide what we're going to do next week.
Yeah, as in like a reduction.
Right. Good. Yep, that's the idea. And you're doing a good job from the ground up. Yeah, good. Yep, you're doing well. Yeah, that's becoming a real strong pose because your waist is getting nice and tight. The obliques are developing and showing well. So that's going to be another good pose for you to really, and make sure you keep doing it like you are, which is right away, getting that side done. So physically, what I hope to have happen in the next few weeks, and what will happen with continued execution, is just tighter, tighter, tighter.
My mother is very outspoken and pretty funny.
We want to see abs.
Oh yeah, I got them.
Now, who wouldn't be if your birthday was on July 4th? Now, Mom prepared a feast with all the trimmings, and none of it was edible for me.
Corn.
Can't have corn. Can't have that.
Macaroni. You said you were bringing your stuff.
I know. I do. I have it right here.
Oh, but you're just saying that so that you can get the camera.
Yeah.
Can't have that. Can't have that.
It was here I fully understood the magnitude of 6 months of sacrificing activities with friends and family. With only 2 weeks to go, my diet was killing my energy by the middle of the day. Sleep was now my best friend. I could only dream of doing something fun. With only a week to go, the Bod Pod was high on my list. I was curious more than ever to see not how much fat I could lose, but what was left. Once again, the results blew my mind and shattered Adam's cortex. All he could say was,
"Nice."
Nothing left of me.
No. I'm telling you, I just looked at the pictures 5 minutes before you showed up.
Yeah? Big difference, huh?
Big. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really, everything is right there, and we still have, a week and a half to go? A week from Saturday? It's like, how much more?
Kind of wish we were still doing pinches to see regionally, but I mean, it's gone from everywhere.
But to look like this is so much more difficult than what anybody really thinks.
Right, they get guys who look like this.
Right.
Put them on that machine, film a commercial, and then so 7%?
7% is what I think. 7%. I'm almost positive it's 7%. What do you think it looks like?
I'd guess you're under 10.
Under
7
10?
might be the lower end. You might be 2 though, my luck. Go ahead and hop in. All right, here we go. All right, those were good. Come on out. About 158 pounds is what it had you.
Okay.
6.8.
6.8 pounds. Wow. Oh my gosh.
So you were right on.
Wow. Guess I'm better than I thought.
Very nice.
Wow. So that means I just might hit 4%. Because if you look at a picture of me last week, I don't look anything like this at all. See, we've been taking them weekly, and just recently, it's just been just like falling off. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, 158.5 pounds. So fat mass, almost 11 pounds of fat on your body.
That's it? 11 pounds of fat?
Well, you figure your brain makes up a large portion of that, so there's not a lot left. So men, risky is at 5. For women, risky is at 15.
Really?
Estrogen's metabolized in fat tissue. So, and that's why a lot of gymnasts, athletes that do it, swimmers, high intensity where they drop their body fat, they'll lose their menstrual cycle because the estrogen is not cycling like it's supposed to. Well, when you start losing the hormones, especially for females, then ligaments become a little bit more stretchy. Well, now the knee stretches a little bit more than it's supposed to, creates different force generation, and it ruptures ACLs, MCLs, meniscus, stuff like that. So a lot of injuries, especially to women, when the body fat gets low. And then that's the estrogen effect. There's also the low body fat. Fat lines all of your nerves, like any cord, any wires wrapped in plastic, so it doesn't short out. So your nerve is supposed to be wrapped so it doesn't short before it gets to the end to tell the muscle to contract. So you can have some sort of neural problems. You're not really degenerating that lining, but you can have some other conditions because the fat's dropping so low. Body needs fat, like it needs cholesterol, needs sugar, needs protein, and so there can be some health concerns.
Does this blow your mind?
You read about it, you're like, okay, yeah, that's how the body works. But then, I mean, you're almost burning as many calories now per day as what you were when you're 174 pounds.
They say it can't be done, that it's just an impossible dream.
So that's what you're going to do. That's your last week assignment, obviously, starting Monday.
Monday?
Yep. And then continue to pose throughout. And the main thing next week, apart from anything else, is the continuance of your cardio intensity, because we still want to take advantage of all those days and be lean for the show.
Working your back is the hardest day in the regimen, so my last day on a 1,300 calorie diet was tough. I was exhausted, but surprisingly very strong. I was lifting more than ever and looking great. My mind was so focused I could only think about lifting that weight one more time. Looking at this video now is like looking at someone else. I mean, I barely remember that day.
But there's no real where else to take it. Your potatoes got to go to half the serving size of it.
Okay.
So it's not fully gone. We're going to cut it in half. It's going to save you about 110 calories. And trust me, this little skim here, with as good as you are now, as fast as your metabolism going, this little skim here, you will be glad we did it now, and it will make you that much sharper come the day of the show.
Alright.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Should I save my evil emperor laugh until you leave the office, or should I let it loose now?
Yeah. Did you ever get to the point where you ever just like emotional, or is that something because
Yesterday.
you were no because you were you said you were basically a shut-in?
Yeah.
And then so that kept you away from social activities and things like that. But it's like little things get to me, stupid stuff gets to me. Overreacting and just crying for no reason. Just
I think anytime those demands are on there, it's challenging. But that's why it is so challenging to really get in that great shape. I mean, how many people come in and they look at your picture out there? I mean, I've been open 3.5 years, and I have photos of myself up around here and whatever. But my point is, you've got more reaction out of your photographs than anything that I've had. And a lot of people come to me, I want to look like Stuart, I want to do what Stuart did. But look at what you've gone through to make such a dramatic change, and you look fantastic, you look great. But you've worked your ass off to get there, right? Yeah. So you're just feeling some of the effects of a lot of months strung together. And the thing is, you took it to another level. You took it to another level because we had a specific time and kind of a deadline to get there, so we really cranked it up.
Right.
But it's been inspirational what you've done to a lot of people, and we just got to make sure we bring it home. And trust me, any little thing you go through right now will be all worth it on that day. It will. I know that sounds kind of weird, but it will. It'll be more than worth it that day.
And now, you will feel better.
start this. Just surprised anybody even likes me anymore. 6 months. I don't know how I'm gonna get through this Saturday. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Putting together a posing routine was awkward, and if you have no idea what you're doing, you look absolutely ridiculous.
How are you again in the back?
I'm here. The choreography comes into play. So here.
You have this, and you can also lunge with your back to the audience.
Lean this way.
Yep.
And then we go.
Really, I wouldn't even waste time with lunging and all that stuff. Now instead of that, do a tricep pose for me once.
I don't have tricep pose in there?
Better. There's just a little bit of loose skin here. Yeah, good job, man. You're looking great.
Is with as good as you look, you have about 4 days to look better. So just keep using these days, and then Saturday you will be, sharp as a tack. It should be perfectly weighing in right at the cutoff of the lightweight class. It should be perfect.
So I'll be the heaviest of my class.
Mm-hmm. Almost like we knew what we were doing, huh?
Yeah, I know.
You dropped about 50 pounds so far.
Right.
But if you would have just tried to drop 50 pounds and not really done it correctly with trying to build muscle at the same time, you could be still 50 pounds less than what you were, and look totally different than this. I mean, you totally transformed your body to a lean, muscular physique. And when you watch, you just kind of step back and watch you downstairs walking around and whatnot, you totally change your body. But if you wouldn't have done it really smart with how we've manipulated nutrition, kept the protein high, supplements, everything that we keep talking about, if you wouldn't have done all those, cogs to this little equation, you'd look totally different, even though you might be 50 pounds lighter. And that's the big thing that people got to take from this, that you have transformed your body by how you did it. And it wasn't by accident. I mean, you didn't look this way by accident. It was calculated, and you worked your tail off, and this is the reward for it. But, I'm so excited because you literally are a walking example of what a person can do if they execute and they do a smart plan. But absolutely, you look great. You totally changed your body.
Good.
I remember what you looked like when we started this, and I'm like, we got a ways to go. But I was confident the plan would work if you were able to execute it, and then you surpassed my expectations of what you'd do. So.
All right.
We're Wednesday night. We got 2 more days to go. You got 3 more cardio sessions is all. 1 more workout tomorrow. Friday, no workouts, just 1 cardio, and then get your color on. And then tomorrow you understand that you're not going to salt anything yourself. Right. You're going to limit your vegetable portions to like a bowl, and you're going to only drink a gallon of fluid.
Right. And you still do the chicken breast and
still do everything exactly. Stay with the same nutrition and same calories, but we're limiting fluid somewhat because we need to make sure you're under 154.25 pounds, and one of the biggest markers of that is fluid. Plus, by manipulating fluid a little bit, we should be able to get a little bit of a tighter look. But again, we're not doing anything crazy, nothing drastic. You're still gonna be fine. You got plenty. You're coming with plenty, but we're just trying to get it just as close to what we deem as perfect as we can be.
Okay, it's Friday, the morning before, and I have to weigh myself in. So let's take a look. Got 156, 157. I don't know how I'm gonna work it out. I don't know how we're gonna make it.
Where am I gonna find 3 pounds off of this? I mean, where? My legs? Nope. Nothing left of my legs. They're all, you can see the veins in them now. Had a little injury this morning. It should go away. But good grief, man. 3 pounds.
I said forget it.
I'm gonna put my mom on speakerphone. She doesn't know I'm gonna call. But she epitomizes why people don't like bodybuilding. Well, it's almost done, so I can return to normal.
Oh, I know.
What's that?
I said you changed dispositions.
I changed disposition. What do you mean?
Well, sometimes you're like you are now, and other times you're kind of down.
Well, yeah, you're down when you don't, when you can't have cake. And then when we wake up on Saturday, I probably won't eat anything until after weigh-in. And that's gonna...
Oh my God. I wouldn't want to see you any higher or lower. Well, it'll be very interesting, and I will be in needles until you let me know what happened.
The second I know. The second I win. The day of the contest, all I could think about was my weight. I was 156 pounds and needed to come in at 154 1/4. Weigh-in was closing in on each mile, and if I didn't make lightweight, I would be the smallest guy in the middleweight class. Guys with 20 pounds more muscle would stomp on my chances of winning anything. It's always best to be at the top of your weight class.
Should be perfectly weighing in right at the cutoff of the lightweight class. It should be perfect.
So I'll be the heaviest of my class.
Mm-hmm. Almost like we knew what we were doing, huh? Yeah.
You have failed me in the greatest moment of my life.
Being 3/4 pounds overweight was a huge blow. Just 2 weeks ago, I was 6.8% body fat and had only 10 pounds of fat on my entire body, and that's including my brain. And what was worrying me the most was the fact that I had to be close to a risky 5% body fat, the minimum level for my age. And what did risky mean? Adam said I needed fat to line my nerves and run my internal organs. Did that mean I could die if I go below 5%? Ugh, was this even worth it? My energy reserves at this point were at 0. All I could do was try to go to the bathroom and sweat to lose that 3/4 pounds. I wasn't capable of doing much of either. By the time Jeff came out to get me, I was running on fear and adrenaline. By this time, the documentary was completely over. I made my point on what it takes to look like that guy, but now I wanted to take a trophy home. The thought of having nothing to show for all of my effort and suffering made me so angry that if I didn't lose the 3/4 pounds, I was just going to quit the contest and call the project good. Luckily, a miracle happened.
All right, the first hurdle has been cleared. I planned it this way all the time to really get it. See, now he's going to be really heightened in his focus, so it worked perfectly. I'm very anxious to see. I have no idea who's in his class. I didn't see anybody up there. I don't know how tough it's going to be, but I'm just anxious to see him up there and doing everything that we practice, you know, and I believe he's as good as he can be today, given where we started and the time we had and where I think he's as good as he can be. So that alone, in my mind, he's already won. So now I'm just anxious to see him stacked up and let the chips fall where they may. But he's ready. He's as ready as he can be today.
rear to stage. Back double bicep. Good. That's it. Relax. Lat spread. Good. Relax. Most muscular. Nice.
Yes, Stuart.
Relax, gentlemen. 36, 34, report to drug testing.
Third place in our Masters Division. Number 34, Stuart Mcdonald. And your runner-up, second place here in the lightweight class tonight. Number 34, Stuart McDonald.
And with those historic words, the search was over.
Well, there you have it. I did it. And now I look like Jeff, the guy that's in all those ads. And I have not one, but 2 trophies. A win-win-win. The contest was everything Jeff said it would be. It was a blast, and I can proudly say I was runner-up in the Michigan State Bodybuilding Championships lightweight division. There isn't a single person in my circle of friends that can make that claim. On the positive side, it is possible to look like the guy in the ad. You don't need a book, complicated machine, weird diet, or pill. And there isn't a vaccination, nor any one single thing I did. I also didn't take any drugs, steroids, or growth hormones. I got ripped and shredded through smart supplementation, healthy dieting, and 100% execution of a well thought out plan. Plain and simple, it was old school hard work. Nothing more, nothing less. On the negative side, achieving single-digit body fat is totally unreasonable for the majority of people with real lives and families. It's unsustainable and unhealthy. And to give you a perspective, within 3 days of this contest, my abs were gone and I gained 10 pounds. On the flip side, you can have a more fulfilling life with 15 to 20% body fat, like in this photo. Maintaining it is much easier, but remember, you can only get there by combining both diet and demanding workouts. We spend billions a year looking for the easiest way to transform our bodies. There isn't an easy way. However, there are 3 basic rules that, if followed to the letter, will produce dramatic results in 6 months. First, build more muscle by lifting heavy weights. Second, do 16 to 20 minutes of hard cardio at least 5 times a week. And third, eat calorie-restricted healthy food and smart supplementation. So why is it so hard for people to grasp? Well, Barnum said it best. There's a sucker born every minute, and the fitness and supplement industry can see you coming a mile away. We buy health products because of their claims and the lure of looking like the guy in the photo. Well, forget it. The claims are phony and the photo is misleading, and in some cases, completely fake. Well, let's examine the photo. Fitness models are usually photographed after months of strict dieting, under the best lighting, totally tanned and oiled up. After the shoots are over, they go into the off-season, eat normal food, and lose their abs, just like the rest of us. Next is the claim in bold letters. See your sexy abs in 8 weeks. Well, that's just impossible. But the ad gets away with it in the disclaimer. Results may vary. Or, for best results, combine this product with a healthy diet and exercise. No wonder why people are so frustrated. Everything they try doesn't measure up, or getting results requires you to follow ridiculous instructions, like the one in this old film.
This one doesn't do anything. Here, let me show you. You wear it this way when you go to bed. This end fits into a pan of water. Of course, you must lie with the head pointed to magnetic north and your body parallel with the magnetic field.
If you look back in history, there used to be snake oil salesmen proclaiming cures of all kinds with their liquid elixirs and newsreels exposing quackery. Here's my favorite one.
Special message for senior citizens.
Today's doctors, drugs, and medical devices truly work medical miracles for young and old alike. But there are some as phony as a $3 bill. Like this Zeret applicator, for example, which is claimed to cure arthritis with Z-rays. There are no Z-rays.
Nothing has changed except the volume of misleading information, all designed to confuse us, so we'll buy more products. Well, brushing aside any great claims or miraculous photos, the plan I followed fit on a single sheet of paper straight out of the head of Jeff Willett. And behind that paper is 20 years of experience, hard work, and sweat. Like Jeff said, you can achieve great things. All you have to do is execute. That's what I did, and so can you.
And if anybody tries to sidetrack you, tell them it's a matter of life and death.
I need to talk into the camera. Okay, Eddie down. Good boy.
No excuses.
No excuses. Trademark clap.
So when and what part of the diet does your hair fall out?
And the thing is, it's not even just like a flat stomach, it's a muscular, lean stomach, which is basically what everybody wants.
Yeah.
You know? But obviously, the key to that is not crunches till the cows come home, right?
Right.
We want to see abs.
Oh yeah, I got
it. You can achieve great things without drugs. If I would have listened to all those people along the way, thank you. If I would have listened to all those people along the way that said it could not be done, I would not be in front of you here tonight as an IFBB professional.
There are no Z-rays.